Here we go. Friday night live stream. Once again, wasn't sure if I was going to make it. Discipline. Staying disciplined. Hey, William. Hello. What's up, Franco? H. Franco. Bunch of the usual suspects here. It's awesome to see you guys. Fit Girl. What's up? Laura P. Thank you. Yes. Big Reaper fan. I based my puppet off that statue up there. Good eye. Way up there at the top. My Reaper puppet. Actually, my Tracer puppet was also based off that statue line. I know the people, because I work at Blizzard, who made all the statues, so I get to see them up close firsthand. While they're in production, too, so that's extra geeky cool. Hey! Andrew, thank you. Panda Frames, what's up? Yeah. Got a few cool new toys in the mail today. That's why I used them for the picture. I got... So you guys already know I'm a huge Motu fan, which is Masters of the Universe, He-Man, which I'll start with that, since that was one of my number ones. But I got Prince Adam and the Sky Sled. Pretty awesome. One of the things that any Motu fan remembers and knows from back in the 80s was not only were the toys cool, but the box art. The box art was always awesome. You'd always have these really cool battles between the characters and these beautiful paintings. Looking at all the other characters, just as cool to me. I spent just as much time geeking over the boxes as I did the actual toys. Hey, Itty Bitty Buffy, what's up? So now that I have Prince Adam and a Sky Sled, I can animate flying, and I also can animate the transformation from Adam to He-Man, which is epic, cool, badassery that I have to do. I have to do it at some point. Hey! And then, I won't show you who I got, but Thundercats. Massive fan of Thundercats, and I got a few characters that I absolutely am excited to see what they're capable of. Don't know if I'm going to animate them as much as collect them, but Super 7, if you're out there, you know I want to do it. I got big dreams of bringing those characters to life too. So give me a call, Super 7. I'd love to rock them all. Yeah. But yeah, I picked up a few. I got every once in a while, like if I have a good hard work week, the end of a paycheck, I'll buy a couple toys, add to the collection. So rad. Give me a piggy. Tonight, I'm going to be talking to you guys, at least the base subject. I'm going to talk to you about all kinds of stuff, but the base subject I'll be talking about is going to be failure in animation. And the reason I'm going to talk about it, because I didn't have much time to think, of course, before I made it the base topic of the evening, is because I am currently failing in one of my animations. And, you know, people are always thinking, you know, that, you know, when you've been animating as long as I have, oh, you know, you always do great work. It's always special and cool. And it's not true. It's so not true. I fail still and still struggle with certain things. And especially here in the garage, you know. Less failures in my CG job or my professional work because it's a different kind of time, right? I'm getting paid for it, so there's a lot more planning that goes on and setup and then supervision, all those kind of things. But in my garage work, I don't have as much time, right? I'm trying to create animations here for the channel, for myself, for fun. And I don't do the same kind of pre-planning that I would do on a feature film or at a professional studio. So you're you're obviously a lot more likely to fail. And I'm lucky that very often I don't fail quite as much as I should, maybe. But either way, the monkey character that I've been animating in the garage, the claymation character that I built, I created 2 animations with that character, and they went fine. They went great. And then I'm on a 3rd one right now that I'm doing as part of my training, and I am struggling big time. And I had a plan. I absolutely had a plan as far as what I was going to animate, like the choreography of what I was going to animate. But the problem is I had 0 experience with the puppet at that point, right? And this is a real thing. You get experience points when you're animating a character. You don't know what the limitations are of the armature, or you don't know, you haven't, like for me, for instance, my monkey character has wings. I should have done a flight before I decided to do a big complex movement into flight, because I have no experience with that so far. So I don't have an idea of how many frames the wings are going to flap, right? I don't have an idea of how I'm going to support the puppet yet. I put in a flying rig, so I know it'll hook into them, but I've never experienced it yet. So I'm in the garage failing miserably right now. And I'm going to share it with you guys, of course. And some of you, most of you probably are not going to, you're going to be like, it's not a fail, Justin. But I'm telling you it's a fail, because what I had planned and what is coming out is 2 very different things. And there's a lot of issues with what I want to do, as far as it looking like good physics and looking like, the type of behavior that I wanted to happen is not happening. So what am I learning from this failure? Instead of getting super depressed, instead of getting scrapping the animation, that's what your instinct wants to do in situations like this, right? Is it's like I'm 350 frames into this animation, right? And I'm like, I should just wipe it from the face of the earth and never share it and whatever. But what's really happening is I'm getting more experience. So even though it's failing, I'm feeling how this character moves. I'm learning the lessons of what works and what doesn't work. So I'm just keeping to go forward, right? I have a plan, and I'm going to try to finish it as best I can. But this kind of thing happens throughout your career, right? You as a young animator, you don't always know how bad you are at first when you first start animating, right? Because it's almost every animation you do is your new best animation you've ever done, right? And that's really exciting and fun, or they're really horrible. But the trajectory of your improvement is always moving forward. So it's really there's a lot of great feedback and great reward at the end of your tests. But then you get better and you grow and you see things you couldn't see before, because you get what I call new eyes. And those new eyes start showing you, what you did wrong or what you couldn't see before. And then sometimes you just fall flat on your face. And that absolutely happens a lot in the beginning, especially in stop motion, right? Because in CG, the computer does so much of the work for you. You can always adjust it. You can go back and adjust it. If you've been properly educated in CG animation, you can save a bad animation without, destroying your soul. While in stop motion, if you fail, you fall flat on your face and you scrape your nose off, and that's it. There's no net to catch you at all. But each time you fail, right? That's the majority of what I wanted to say, is each time you fail, you're literally logging information into your brain in what worked, what didn't work, what you can do the next time you animate to improve it, to not fall into that trap again, to do it better, whatever that is. And you have to think of it that way. You can't get discouraged when you're animating and be like, God, I suck. Why am I doing this? This is such a waste, whatever. If you are like me, you probably get high. I get a high from seeing things come to life. I literally, like a giant dopamine dose goes boop in my brain. It's like adrenaline when I watch one of my animations, right? And I've always had that exact feeling since I started this whole journey of doing these stop motion animations. But it still hurts. Sometimes it's painful. And I remember many, many times where even now I still have scar tissue about it, where I'll invite my daughter into the garage or my wife into the garage, and like on certain films I'd be up all night working on a shot. Literally, they're up getting breakfast the next morning and they're like, "Dad, what'd you do?" And they come in, and then all of a sudden I press play on the computer and they're like, yeah, oh. And it's just like, oh, crushed, not good enough. Or that whole night of work is a failure, and I have to try it again because it's not communicating what it needs to communicate, and that's painful. But like I said, you have to look at it in the way that you're logging information and you're logging tools and tricks and experience. It's just straight up experience in doing what you're doing, and you're going to do it better the next time because of that failure. So it's a huge part. It's just a huge part of growth as an artist, and especially in stop motion. And I know there's a lot of young animators, because you guys send me videos all the time showing me your first tests. And, I absolutely was one of you, and I absolutely, was rough when I started. I had some base art education, but I didn't really know much about stop motion other than how it worked. But it's magic, and it's part of the process. It's like anything. I've done a lot of sports in my life, and I did a lot of competitive type behaviors or skill building skills, where you have to practice. Like I did lots of different activities where you had to fail tremendously over and over and over and over. And then you got better. And then you did it again, over and over, and you practiced again. Anything from drawing to doing bike tricks or skateboarding or gymnastics or boxing or whatever I'm working on at the time. I have to get beat up for a while before I can start surviving in the ring properly, right? I can definitely, I have to crash miserably on my BMX bike several times before I land a trick. And then I have to learn how to crash, right? So that's what you're doing. You're just crashing your puppet right now. And here we got a question, so I'll go ahead and answer that. What? Vico Souza here, speaking of a young animator. This guy's doing it. I'm so excited about what you're doing with the Motu characters, Vico. You're, I think, a natural animator. You're going to be awesome someday. What do you do when you need motivation to animate? Oh, have you ever seen my office? You got to be surrounded. Well, this is what I do. Surround yourself, Vico, with things that inspire you. Thundercats! Oh! Jurassic Park! Are you kidding me? Hold on, I gotta deny something's calling me here. You've watched me live stream, Vico. I have movies on that inspire me constantly when I'm working. I have an office full of statues and toys and movies. I mean, I'm embarrassed to show you guys, but I'm a massive movie fan, and I am absolutely so many films. Do you see this place? You see that? Inspiration booth right there. See that? It don't stop. It goes all the way around. That's DVDs. That is Blu-rays. That is, I have a whole big pile of VHS. I'm watching movies constantly that inspire me. I'm reading comics, right? Me and my daughter went to the comic book store last Saturday, and I came back with a big stash. Art. I'm looking at animation that inspires me. I'm keeping balance. So if I'm like, doing magic tricks in the garage with my wife or daughter, that's keeping me pumped up. That's keeping me excited. It's providing some spice. So I'm not just animating all the time. I'm doing other things too that allow some variety for balance. But my biggest thing is just surround yourself by inspiration, Vico, because what inspired you is different than what inspired me. You're young. You're way younger, right? Like, Vico, maybe, I don't know, this is me guessing, but just coming here to this live stream, this is a way to fuel yourself, right? Discipline is a big part of it too, Vico. I have to say that because I definitely surround myself and feel inspired often, but like last week was hard. I had a hard week where I'm like, I'm a little tired. You know what I mean? I've been working multiple jobs and balancing family and doing sports and doing all the things I want to do, and I'm a little fucking tired. You know what I'm saying? And you have to find some kind of way to maintain some balance. And the way I did that is I went to the comic book store with my daughter, and we literally just came home with a stack this thick of comics. And we sat down in our Dune chair, and we call it the Dune chair because my daughter read Dune in it, and it's awesome. Dune, the movie that's going to be coming out, but it's really an 80s movie, which was really a book from a long time ago. And we just read comics. I read my Conans. I read a few new ones that are indie comics. She got a big old stack of awesome stuff. And that inspires us, right? And that made me want to get in the garage again and start creating. So surround yourself with inspiration. Go out, exercise. Because when you start to feel physical balance with mental balance, it'll be easier too. But then discipline. I'm going to say it again, discipline. When you get into a habit, like it's training, right? You're literally training to become a better animator, and you make yourself sometimes, because it's not always easy, you'll get used to that training. You'll get used to that pattern, and then you'll miss it if it's not there. And that will keep you through the dry spells when you're not as motivated. So that's how I do it. I think I've mentioned that a few times. Check it out. Speaking of toys, my buddy and student, I know I told you guys about him last week, Play Stories, on TikTok or on Instagram, playstories.co.uk. I'm actually on his site right now on both these. Go check him out. He's got an awesome, especially if you're in UK, because he's got an awesome toy store. Everything's up now. I think when I gave him a shout out last couple weeks ago, the site wasn't up yet. But he's been doing this awesome stuff that I've been watching where he's animating. He's literally taking some of the toys from his toy store and animating them. And he just did one with an LOL doll, which I'd never even heard of LOL, but apparently it's very popular with little girls right now. And then he is doing a wrestling one right now that he just did another one. It's just so cool to imagine, like, if I was to own a toy company and then to just grab some of your stash and go animate it. It's freaking awesome. Playstories.co.uk. Go support them if you're in the UK. Got He-Man toys up front. Awesome. Someone is saying they have lower back pain. That's very common in animation, guys. I never had back issues till recently, till basically this year, 46. And I think it's because I just heard it lifting something, and then I tweaked it, and then now it's just in this weird place where I have to be a little more gentle to it. And I'm wondering if it's because I'm less flexible, because this year I haven't done as much, and I let my unflexibility kick in or something like that. But it's real. I would say definitely stretch, move, And William, this is a little thing that I learned on working at Leica, and I didn't know this because I would have feet problems after a while where you're standing on concrete all day, right? And like, I didn't really get back problems, but I would get feet issues. And they give you these cushy pads, which are, I don't know, they're like things you can get at Home Depot or something like that, but they're like these 1.5 inch really cushy pads you can stand on, which might help your back too. And then also, in between frames, I started to sit down. So I wouldn't stay standing for 8 hours straight or 10 hours straight, till lunch at least, which is 4 or 5 hours. I started to, especially at Leica, because at Leica it takes time to take your frames, right? It's not like next frame you're animating. It's like pause, camera goes to the next frame. It can take sometimes 30 seconds to do one frame of animation at Leica, because there's a motion control machine, because they're shooting left and right for 3D. There's so many different things that go into the exposure, lighting changes, whatever it is, motion control. So I started taking those breaks. When it takes 30 seconds for a freaking frame to take, I'd be like, I'm going to sit down. I don't care if I do 1,000 squats in a day. But it took it gave my back a little rest. It gave my feet a little rest. It gave my whole body a little rest. And then all my feet pain went away after that. So I don't know, just an example. I know we in the garage, William, don't, we're not having that big of breaks, but maybe just take a break every 10 frames or something like that. And also having a table at the right height is very important. When I did Overwatch Cookie Watch, I was on the floor on a little table that was like 2 feet off the ground. And that was hard on the body, hard on the knees, because you're bent over all day. But typically I work at more of like a 40-inch height, something like that, so I don't have to bend over that much. And it saves your back quite a bit. All right. Hey, man. Hey, SW Black Series clips. This, go see him, guys, if you don't know him. SW Black Series clips. I love his stuff. He does awesome toy photography and behind-the-scenes stuff. Wanted to ask you about DSLR lenses. What style type lens do you mostly use when animating? Okay, so that's easy. I just use Nikon manual lenses. Most often I use a 20 millimeter lens, 35 millimeter lens, and a 50 millimeter lens. 50 or 55, somewhere in there. And those three are my go-to constantly. And then I'll jump around every once in a while to a 75 or a 17 or 28, whatever. Some random lenses that I'll throw in there, depending on what shot I'm doing. But those three are my go-to: 35, 55, and 20 millimeter lens. Get a nice wide lens for the 20, and then a nice close-up lens, 55, and 35 for some basic stuff. I'm Raphael Hengelbrock. I'm hyped for the Gremlins content. Which movie did you prefer, the first or the second? The first. By far the first. Yeah, I'm an OG. I saw that at the theaters. Gremlins, massive fan. And I've been wanting to animate Gremlins in stop motion forever. Literally forever. And I finally hooked up with Michelle Mello at Mellow Maid. Go follow her too on Instagram. She's super talented puppet artist. She's working on a Netflix film right now. And we hooked up and we did a collaboration, and she made my gizmo, because I am working on my Viking film right now and I don't have time to make a gizmo as much as I wanted to. I have like 1,000 puppets I want to make and I have no time. I'm too busy. So doing these collaborations is very, very, very cool with these talented puppet makers. So Michelle's she made that. I'm doing a whole mini short, but a lot of animation. I'm about halfway through it right now. I might share one more clip with you guys next week before I leave. I'm going to go on a vacation in 2 weeks, and I'll be out for a little while. I'll still drop some stuff in my on content here and there, but I'm going to be out of action in a lot of ways too. But the gremlins are awesome. So Mogwai and then a gremlin, and at some point I'm going to have to get a gremlin too, so I can do the transformation and some trouble. And I'm really interested in mixing live action with stop motion puppets. So this was a perfect excuse to really dive into that. And so far it's working out great. I really love the shots and how they're integrating with the live action. But Gremlins 1 is the best. Gremlins 2 is fun. It's really cool to see the continued, hijinks of the critters, but man, that is definitely my favorite. Just full story. Okay, let's see here. And then, all right. Hey, big fan here. Wondering how you go about animating slow motion, stop motion, like a slow-mo walk. VH Civic asked this. VH Civic. Slow motion is very challenging to do in stop motion. I think there's different approaches now than there used to be, but you just have to animate more frames, plain and simple. So if you're animating 24 frames per second, good luck, man. I've seen people do this. I've really seen people try to animate in slow motion, and it's hard. It takes forever. I did one slow-mo shot on my He-Man short, and it was cheesy, right? I shot it on 2, so it's not like I had to shoot the whole thing, right? It made it a little easier. I think there's programs out there now that will do blends for you. So you can slow down an animation that's not that many frames, and it will literally in between for you, and then you might be able to get a slow motion effect. So I would look into that. It's like Twixer or Dane. There's a few of them out there that I see people using. A lot of Lego people, but I don't really know. The old-fashioned way is to just animate a lot of frames, and that can help you. The second Gremlins is batshit crazy. I agree. It's ridiculous. So there's so many things here. I'm seeing all these notes on here that I'm sorry I'm not getting a chance to read. Have you ever worked on Call of Duty game? If so, what's the experience? No, I haven't. I almost did, because I worked for Activision for a long time, and then I left and then went working on a couple other studios that were doing Call of Duty games. Call of Duty was not a game I wanted to work on, not because it's not fun, but because as an animator, you don't do much. You're dealing with motion capture and cleaning up data and organizing data, and that's not my jam. I'm an animator. I want to animate life. And also the schedules on a lot of those Call of Duty games, just from knowing people that worked on them, were horrible. They were not conducive to health. And I'm an animator who I don't even chase. I just animate stuff that I love. And don't care about soldiers, as far as animating and stuff like that. I want to animate fantastic creatures or, something that's a little bit more creative, I would say, as opposed to the, World War II killing Nazi stuff. So I did not. But I've heard nothing but bad things about working on them. It's very busy, hard, long hours. Let's see. Guerrero, hello, I'm good, thank you. All right, let's see here. Lower back pain. How do you big fan, wondering emotion. Sorry guys. Thanks for answering my question. No problem. Favorite old stop motion show, Pingu or Mr. Bogus? I don't know if I've seen Mr. Bogus. But I've seen Pingu, and Pingu was definitely fun. I liked it. Mr. Bogus. Now I'm gonna have to go look that up. I thought I knew a lot of the stop motion stuff out there, but I don't know that one. Chino Juan Moreno. Hey, what's up, man? You rock. Any chance to animate a T800 Terminator? There's always a chance that I could animate a Terminator. I'm a huge Terminator fan. I'm from the 80s. I literally saw Terminator at the theaters when I was a kid. And a little too early for my age, but it rocked my world. I'll never forget it. It's right up there on the marquee. I can still see it, driving to it with our friend's dad who took us, and it would be amazing. I don't have any plans right now. This year is really... I have a lot of cool stuff coming for you guys that you don't know about. I literally went on date night the other day, and me and Shelly just kind of planned out or talked about the plan of what I'm going to be animating this year for social media and for fun. And there's a lot of really cool stuff, like the Gremlin, which you guys didn't really even know was coming, right? So that's like a secret cool project that is about a minute, a little bit more than a minute, maybe a micro short, and just using it to test live action and puppets. And then I did the Jurassic Park. I got that coming, which is going to be awesome. I did the He-Man, which was dream come true stuff. I did the Coraline Cat, which was really, really fun. So I'm just kind of checking off all these like dreams of things that I wanted to animate. And the Terminator is on my list. The T800 is on my list. But I don't know if it's going to happen this year because I have a lot going on, including my Viking film, The Beast, which is getting really good progress. I started sculpting the next character, which I haven't shared with you guys, but I'll be putting it up, giving you little clips of that as it develops. The Viking's ready to mold. The wolf is molded. I have a few more characters that I'm going to be sculpting soon too. So it's a long process, but it is moving. Terminators are awesome. T800's awesome. Pengu was so good. Well, talking about failure, that was the main thing that I wanted to get out there because I definitely am feeling a failure with the animation that I'm creating right now. And it hurts. I can't help it. It does sting, and I want to do better, but it's going to happen on the next one. And one of the things I do too is I do share my fails with you guys as much as the cool successes. So you'll see, and I know you're going to call me out and be like, "This isn't a fail," but to me, it feels like a fail. Just give us such cool stuff. T-Rex, He-Man, all my childhood. Loving and getting inspired by your content. Thank you. Thundercats. Super 7, please call me. Call me. I really want to animate Thundercats. I want to do a short very similar to what I did with He-Man for Thundercats. But I'm not going to put that much work into it if no one's going to hire me. But yeah, a lot of your childhood was probably similar to my childhood, Chino. Grew up in the 80s, late, mid 70s, that, we had a lot of the same cartoons, a lot of the same shows, and some amazing films in that time period. Some really amazing science fiction and fantasy that came out, and practical effects, my favorites, like Gremlins. Well, do you guys have any questions or anything that's going on I can help you with before I tap out tonight? I might be able to... I'm going to hold off. I thought I might show you guys the fail in the garage because it's about halfway through. But I'm going to wait. That way it's... Or I'll finish it on live stream. Maybe that's it. Because I usually will live stream once every couple of weeks some of my animations, and I haven't had a chance where I had a block where I just felt like putting a camera up, but I'll put a camera up and and maybe show you a little clip of it the next time I animate, which might be tomorrow night. Or maybe tonight, who knows? I might do a little midnight shift after family goes to bed. Let's see if I missed any questions. Hey, I'm animating right now. JJ the Super Turtle. Hey, high five. That's awesome. Laura. Wow, what's going on? Power Grayskull. Let's see here. Gold Tooth Decay. What? Gold Tooth Decay. Hey. Wow. Can't wait to see you. So awesome to see you here. Wow. That's cool. A friend of mine from Leica just popped in. So great to see her. That's awesome. It's so trippy when I see friends that I haven't seen in a long time pop into a live stream. Thanks for sharing the story. Well, if there's no more questions, guys, I'm going to go start my Friday night. I told my daughter I'd go do some Chloe Ting with her. If you guys know what Chloe Ting is, it's a kind of a cardio online woman where you do body weight exercises and stuff like that, and she's doing like a fun little program. So every once in a while I'll go join my daughter in a Chloe Ting. It's pretty fun, and it's good for me because I hate doing cardio. All right, I think we're good then tonight. Really appreciate it. If you or anyone misses this live stream, you can just go check it out on my YouTube channel, Justin Rasch Animation, and I typically will upload them there. Uh-oh. Somebody dropped in a question for me real quick. The Real Cheetah. When is the next movie? So what do you mean, The Real Cheetah? Like the next movie as in the next movie I'm going to work on, the next movie I'm working on right now? The Beast is our current garage film that we're working on, and it's in production. It takes years to do a garage film, just so you know. We were hoping to do it a little bit faster, but there's so much happening, and especially now that I'm doing social media as well as my, all the other things that I'm doing in life, I don't have as much time to just focus on the Beast. So we do art night every week, family art night, and I'm making progress then. I'm making progress on the weekends a little bit here and there, but it's not moving at the same pace because a lot of the evenings now are dedicated to creating these small content bits for social media, for animation, which is why I started doing the magic stuff. If you guys were wondering about that, like the little tricks that I've been doing for fun, like I'm literally squeezing those into a few moments here and there because it takes so long to animate that I'm like, okay, I got to do something else that doesn't require so much time that will fuel the social media stuff. So that's why I started doing it, and it's fun. But the next movie I'm working on, I don't know, can't say. The last movie I worked on was Alien Xmas, which came out this Christmas. So that was 2020, I think. I did a little bit of preemptive work on Wendell and Wild, so I got to touch that project a little bit, which is awesome. That's in production right now. But they're all up in Portland, so it's not as easy for me. When I got to help out on that, they were in LA, so I actually went and just helped out a little bit here and there and did a shot. So came in at the very end when they were doing kind of a green light sequence, which I can't wait to see. So I don't know what the next movie is or when the next movie is, but it's always on my radar. Puppety Putty to go back into stock. Cassidy Animator says, I'm so excited for Puppety Putty to go back in stock. Awesome. Puppety Putty. I gotta look at, I don't know what Puppety Putty is. Sounds cool though. I I like it. All right, guys, I'm going to head off. Thank you for showing. I'm glad I made it to live stream. Failure is a part of success. Failure is a part of growth. You're growing when you fail, so don't get discouraged. And I will see you guys next Friday. And keep an eye out. I might do a live stream tonight. Late. We'll see. Later, guys. And video.